Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today to look at further opportunities with the Erasmus Plus program. My name is Florence McGee, and I'm joined today by my colleagues, Suzanne and Elva.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Byrne. I'm the Support and Development Officer with Sport and K2 Youth, and I'll be talking to you today about youth accreditation and partnerships for cooperation.
Hi, I'm Elva Duggan and I work on VET mobility projects, and today I'm going to be talking about mobility projects for the VET, schools and adult education sector.
Thank you, ladies. We'll hear more details later on. For the moment, I wanted to focus on looking at the benefits of the Erasmus Plus program and how those can support your organizations in the long term. So to recap, the Erasmus Plus program looks at the sectors of youth, schools, adult education, and vocational education and training at Léargas. We are going to focus our session today on those who have had already some projects with Erasmus Plus and would like to go further. So we will look at accreditation, which is multi-annual mobility funding, and then partnership projects for cooperations with European organizations. Right, so looking at why do organizations access European funding in the form of Erasmus Plus. So first, we have the importance of European mobility to develop your learners, to develop your organizations. We also have opportunities to develop your staff professional skills through mobility and then develop best practice through our projects. The Erasmus Plus program enables you also to develop new curriculum, new tools for your organizations. It is also a great way to focus on inclusion and diversity, because we have additional funding for participants with fewer opportunities. And then finally, the Erasmus Plus program is a way to integrate the European dimension in the strategy of your organization to amplify what you are trying to do at local and national level. Thank you. As a recap, the Erasmus Plus program has 4 priorities. The first one, as I was saying, is very important, is inclusion and diversity. We then have digital transformation, environment and the fight against climate change, and then participation in democratic life, common values, and civic engagement. Now, each of the sectors that I've mentioned has sector-specific priorities that you are able to access in the program guide. That's, of course, on our website. I wanted to touch on the benefits of developing your organizations through Erasmus Plus or in conjunction with Erasmus Plus. First, for your services, we have an added benefit in terms of innovation, developing best practice and really going out to Europe to see, what are the things that are being developed by your counterparts. It's also obviously a great way to develop language acquisition for your learners and your staff. And there are ways to increase inclusion and solidarity through additional supports for participants with fewer opportunities, might be going to Europe for the first time. For your staff, we have added professional development. It also increases their capacity to innovate through new learning and awareness of what's possible. And then we see it's a great way to increase staff motivation, morale, and the collaboration between teams. In terms of skills developed in your organization, we see an increase in capacity, an increase in professionalism by using better processes, better systems. It gives a shape on how you manage grants. You also might include new digital tools and develop digital competencies within the organization. There's also the softer side, which is the transversal skills, which is more your emotional intelligence skills, whether within your own person or with others, which are so important in the world of work. And we see our increase for staff and for learners when they actually engage with mobility at European level. Then finally, for your strategy as your organization, it gives you a broader outlook. It enables you to include European policies, directives, a European view on what you are doing to enhance what you're doing at national and local level. It gives you, of course, longer funding period, and we're going to talk about the specifics a bit later on. And then finally, it's a great way to increase your network, not only at European level, but at local level, because that will give you a leadership in terms of whatever subject your organization is working on, whatever sector. That engagement with European opportunities really brings your organization one level up to be able to talk to other funders in Ireland. So we've looked at the benefits of developing your organization with the Erasmus Plus program. I will now leave you in the capable hands of my colleague Elva to discover accreditations.
Thank you, Florence. So I'll be talking about progression for mobility projects for the VET, schools and adult education sectors. Organisations can access Erasmus Plus KA1 mobility projects in one of two ways. One way is via short-term projects. This is a really good option for those organisations trying Erasmus Plus for the first time, or for those who want to arrange a limited number of activities. Short-term mobility projects are a really good entry point for Erasmus Plus for a few different reasons. Firstly, they're smaller in scope and with a max of 30 activities or mobilities per project. This means that applicants can start small and build their knowledge and competence and scale up over time if they wish. The projects themselves are between 6 and 18 months, so there's lots of flexibility there in terms of duration. And lastly, there's a max of 3 short-term projects over a 5-year period. So this means that once you've some experience built up, you're encouraged to move to availing of Erasmus Plus funding so it can be used in a long-term way. So this brings me to the second way of accessing Erasmus Plus funding for mobility projects, which is accredited projects. Essentially, having an accreditation shows that organisations have really thought and planned how they want to use Erasmus Plus funding to further develop their organisations. So these organisations have a plan to implement and deliver high-quality activities, which in turn will have a positive impact on their organisations. One of the key parts of an accreditation is organisations develop an Erasmus plan. So the plan looks at challenges and needs within the organisation, and from there looks at how Erasmus Plus activities can be used in a long-term strategic way, so that individual or yearly projects are building blocks to achieving long-term aims. One of the key advantages of having an accreditation is that organisations are guaranteed to get funding, so applicants can be fully secure in the knowledge that they will get funding when they apply. Also, the application process is much simpler, and really, rather than a lot of qualitative information, the application focuses on numbers and activities, and I'll touch base on those activities shortly. Organisations only need to apply for an accreditation once, and then it's valid until the end of the Erasmus Plus programme, so 2027. Also, a number of organisations may be involved in one or more sectors or fields, so schools, VET or adult ed, or a combination of any of these. So you don't have to choose which sector you'd like to apply for an accreditation in, and you can apply for the accreditation in as many sectors as are applicable for you as an organisation. So moving on to the next slide, I'll briefly touch on the types of activities that organisations can apply for. So these activities are relevant regardless of whether you have a short-term project or an accreditation. There are similarities across the sectors, and opportunities are available for staff and learners in schools, VET and adult ed. And as you can see, for staff activities, regardless of the sector, there are opportunities for staff to participate in job shadowing, teaching assignments and/or courses and training. Similarly, under other, there are opportunities to invite experts into your organisation, host teachers in training, and also to undertake prep visits to potential host partners. For learners, there are similarities in terms of group mobility for learners, as well as individual learner mobility, both short and long term. And for the VET sector, there are opportunities to participate in VET skills competitions. So there are lots of different activities that can be funded under Erasmus+, and if you'd like to hear about any more of these, we'd encourage you to come to some of our information and application workshops, and we really would encourage you to attend these sessions. So I'm going to move along now to where you or your learners or staff can travel to. And as you can see on the map, it's the EU members, as well as the EFTA countries of Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway and Switzerland. So there's some great opportunities for learning in a variety of countries. And also for those who have a VET accreditation, there's also the added advantage of the opportunity to use up to 20% of your allocated budget to go beyond Europe and travel internationally. So now we're going to show you a short video clip from one of our accredited organisations on what they see as the benefits of having an accreditation are. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tara Robinson. I'm the Professional Learning and Development Coordinator in the College of VET in the Limerick and Clare Education and Training Board. So I'm delighted to be with you here today virtually, just to talk you through our recent experience of gaining accreditation for two staff mobility projects, one in VET and the other in adult education. Over 2020 and 2021, our organisation engaged in two critical pieces of self-reflection work. The first was our institutional review of our quality assurance by QQI. They are the statutory body in charge of regulating QA of education providers like ourselves. The second was the development of our strategic framework. Both involved large-scale self-reflection and analysis of what we were doing well and not so well, with learners, with staff and with external stakeholders. These processes happened over a period of a year or more, and while they were challenging, especially to do over lockdown, they really have set the tone for the work of our organisation since. Critically, one of the key pieces of feedback from both review processes that we really needed to increase our internationalisation in the organisation. This has provided us with one of the key motivations and rationales for taking on our accreditation applications. We also felt that longer term projects would be more beneficial. We would only need to prepare a major application every 5 years, allowing us time to monitor and review our progress and pivot when needed. This has advantages also, as before we were often reporting and making applications in the same calendar year, which obviously is much more heavy resource-wise. The simplified funding route that comes with accreditation is also a game changer, and the fact that it is done on a yearly basis means it is a lot more flexible. With accreditation status, we were hoping to build up a buzz about our projects. People would hear from their colleagues about mobilities they'd been on and really see it as a valuable route for professional learning. They would then have the opportunity to put their name forward for next year to go on a mobility. We also hope that having accreditation status would, by giving staff a flavour of mobility opportunities, promote what is available under Erasmus, in particular to learners.
So we hope you enjoyed that input from Tara, and I'm now going to hand over to my colleague Suzanne, who's going to give you some overview and insight into the youth accreditation.
Thank you, Elva. Okay, now I'm going to take you through some features of youth accreditation. So just with the accreditation for the other sectors, there's youth accreditation is available also. Again, it requires you to have a strategic plan developed. You only have to apply once for your accreditation, and it's good for the duration of the programme. You submit one grant application per year, and this is just with your activities and your numbers of participants. And any youth organisation that's been in existence for more than 2 years can apply for youth accreditation. The types of activities you can apply for under youth accreditation are as follows. We have youth worker mobilities aimed at youth workers and youth volunteers. And we have youth exchanges or learner mobilities aimed at young people aged 13 to 30 and their youth leaders as well, who are over 18. The benefits of accreditation are as follows. It's stable funding for your organisation. Once you have accreditation, you enjoy a more simple annual grant request. There's opportunities within accreditation to grow and explore the mobilities and activities for your organisation. You can make your own strategy, and it can align with the strategy of your organisation. And it's investing in the future. So now I want to talk to you about partnerships for cooperation, or sometimes known as KA2 projects. Within Erasmus+, we have two types of partnerships for cooperation projects. We have small-scale partnerships and cooperation partnerships. These project types offer Irish organisations an opportunity to work with European counterparts to develop ideas and to produce innovative deliverables. They aim to increase the quality of your work, offer opportunity for funding for innovation, build the capacity of your organisation, and support the Erasmus+ priorities. So what are the features of these projects? So for small-scale partnerships, you can see the features here. The duration is between 6 months and 24 months with a minimum of 2 partners. It's lump sum funding, and it offers your organization flexibility in terms of the activities. So you decide and set out the activities for yourself. These activities can be transnational or national in design. So what are the features of cooperation partnerships? So for these projects, they're just a bigger scale than the small scale partnerships, with a minimum of 3 partner organizations and a minimum duration of 12 months. As you can see here, there's bigger grant amounts, and also there's a bigger expectation that the results and the activities would be reusable, transferable, and upscalable. There's also an expectation that the impact would be seen on a local, regional, national, and transnational level. So this is one organization's journey with Erasmus+. So we wanted to highlight this because it shows how you can start with mobility projects and then move into maybe partnerships for cooperation down the line. So Eurobug is an NGO based in Ireland dedicated to promoting the inclusion of young people from ethnic minority backgrounds. They began their Erasmus+ journey with youth mobilities called Bridges Not Walls back in 2018. Then in 2021, they developed a partnership project called Bridges Not Walls, Migration in Dialogue. You're now going to see a video that explains in more detail their journey into KA2 projects.
Bridges, no walls. We are connected to each other. Bridges, no walls. Spread some love. Okay. Hello, everybody. Yes, my name is Kelvin Akpalu, and I'm a creative director for Eurobug. And I've done a lot of projects, but one of the biggest one that we have been working on from, I think, 2018 was Bridges Not Walls. And it's a project that started, I'll say the background of it started from a project called Calling Back History Africa. And then I remember I was doing that project in Ireland, and then Eister, our director, said, why can't we can use this project also as an international one. So, and then we started writing a youth exchange project about it, and then we changed the name from Calling Back History Africa to Bridges Not Walls. So we did a second one because the first one was a success, and then which was called Bridges Not Walls Solidarity. And now we have a KA2 project, which is Bridges Not Walls Migration in Dialogue, and that's why we're in Mekina. To start, we're doing an APV right now, and then next week we are having all the participants coming in, Lithuania, Germany, Ireland, and Spain, to kick off this amazing project, to connect with the community, and to see what we can actually develop.
Bridges, not walls. Zambuku Kwatemasingo. Podorino.
Right, I hope that gives you plenty of inspiration into what the Erasmus program can do for your organizations. We have a number of support sessions and workshops coming up, as you can see behind me. We will be meeting with organizations later this month in Dublin to develop small-scale partnership, and we also have a host of information sessions on accreditation depending on your sector. So we hope that you will register for one of our sessions. The next deadline for application is on 1st of October for accreditation in all sectors, small-scale partnerships for all sectors, and cooperation partnerships for the youth sector. These are a few of the sessions that we will be running. All you need to make an application is available on our website. And as you can see, we have a few sessions online that will help you make an application. Thank you for joining us today to look at further opportunities for the Erasmus+ program. Thank you to Alva and Suzanne for helping me today, and I hope this was of interest to you and your organization.